Without star Elijah Hughes, Syracuse fell to NC State on Tuesday, crippling its tournament aspirations. The Orange desperately need a win this weekend to get back on track. One problem though, they travel to Tallahassee to take on number 8 Florida State. Can SU get its first signature win, or will the Orange falter once again? Also, does this game even matter, or is it all too little, too late? We'll answer all that and more. Hughes Countdown starts right now.
Welcome to the CitrusTV studios for this Valentine's Day edition of Q's Countdown. I'm your host, Max Chadwick, alongside my wonderful analysts and Valentines, Will Scott and Mason
I got you a gift, actually, Max.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Well, welcome inside the CitrusTV studios for Q's Countdown. I'm your host, Max Chadwick, alongside Jaron May and Cam McCauley. Syracuse hasn't won since September, dropping 3 straight along the way. Head coach Dino Babers thinks the problem is that they're trying too hard. Wait, what?
They jump, they move. They make a mental mistake that is, they've done it right 1,000 times.
I'm joined again by my analysts, Jaron May and Cam McCauley. Guys, don't try too hard on the show, right?
Okay.
That seems like a tough ask, but we'll rock with it.
Seriously, though, what is the problem with Syracuse football at home?
What
What went wrong for the Orange against the Hawkeyes? Well, let's dive into the numbers real quick. So first up, let's hit the abysmal 3-point shooting. SU shot 6 for 21 from behind the arc, a measly 29%. Joe Girard III and Buddy Boeheim were the biggest culprits. Girard was 0 for 4 and Boeheim was 1 for 5 from deep. Bryson Goodine was 0 for 2 and he's now 0 for 10 on the season. And not only did Syracuse struggle from 3 though, they also struggled to score. In fact, from the 16-minute mark to the 9-minute mark in the second half, the Orange didn't make a single basket. That's right, 7 whole minutes without a made field goal. SU turned it over 3 times in that span and missed 4 shots. Meanwhile, Iowa scored 12 points in that same span. And speaking of not scoring, the Syracuse big 3 of Elijah Hughes, Buddy Boeheim, and Joe Girard struggled to do just that. They combined for just 23 points. Hughes had 10, Girard had 7, and Boeheim had 6. They averaged 41 combined per game. The leading scorer was actually Mark Dolezaj, who finished with 12 points. And guys, we thought football was disappointing after finishing 5-7. How shocked are you guys after this basketball team's 4-4 start?
Well, what I'll say
42 of them coming from Devin Daniels and CJ Bryce. Here's some quick math for you. That means the other 8 players on the team scored just 37 points. Daniels led the Wolfpack, tying his season high with 23 points on 8 of 15 shooting. Meanwhile, Bryce put up 19, making 4 of his 6 shots from deep. It's been a hot and cold stretch for the senior. This marked the 3rd straight game Bryce has scored 15 or more points after putting up a goose egg in the previous 2. All right, moving on to the next number, 5. If you didn't know already, that's how many fouls it takes to foul out. Well, Baram Sidibe apparently doesn't know that. He fouled out for the 4th straight game. In Syracuse's 24 games this year, he's had at least 4 fouls in 19 of them. He now averages, as Will said, 7 fouls per 40 minutes. But it wasn't just Sidibe who consistently gets into foul trouble, though. Both Quincy Guerrier and Jesse Edwards average over 5 fouls per 40 minutes. Finally, maybe the only positive takeaway from the loss was the play of Joe Girard. He put up a career-high 30 points, keeping the Orange afloat with an injured Elijah Hughes and a struggling Buddy Boeheim. It was only the 3rd time in SU history that a freshman scored 30 points in a game. The other 2? Carmelo Anthony and Pearl Washington. That's a pretty good list to be included in. However, JG3 actually struggled from 3, making only 1 of his 10 from behind the arc. He said it was, quote, one of the worst 30 points you could have. While Joe Girard wasn't happy with the way he played, his coach certainly was pleased with the way he stepped up.
When you lose your best player, one of the 3 or 4 best players.
Certainly not great, guys. Well, Syracuse came into the season ranked number 16. Fast forward 8 weeks, and the Orange sit at 3-5, unlikely to make a bowl game. Where did it all go wrong? Don't worry, we've got Detective May and Detective McCauley on the case. Gentlemen, in front of us, we have a murder. A murder of the optimism surrounding Syracuse football. It's time for our 2 best detectives to find the culprits. First up, Jaron, a consistent offensive line has been missing this year.
Yeah, the culprits.
Next year's going to be special. This year, NIT.
Well, come here.
You just gotta believe.
Stop it.
I'm the same.
I like the handling things like
Thank you.
kumbaya
It's my
right
bud,
now
Kumbaya,
on
come on,
Cuse
come
Countdown.
on.
Well, for Syracuse
All
to make
love.
the tournament, they likely have to upset Florida State on Saturday. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you whether or not the Orange will do just that. Predictions coming up on Cuse Countdown. Don't go anywhere. Really struggle. All right, so that'll do it for the final Cuse Countdown of the year. I want to thank Cam and Jaron. You guys have been awesome analysts
thank you,
all
Max.
semester.
Hey,
but
no,
also,
thank you.
Okay, enough.
You're awesome. Okay.
I want to thank the producers, Sean Scott, Noah Sears, and Jaron May, but especially our lead man, Carl Mogline. They really make this show as easy and as fun as possible for us. That's Cam McCauley. That's Jaron May. I'm Max Chadwick. Enjoy the game and have a great night, Syracuse.